All right, welcome in to a very special episode, a NBA draft special episode of the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Kobold, here with my guy, Max Faulkner. Max, I'm going to go to you first. What's going on, my guy?
Man, it's Monday. All right, Monday. I know a lot of people got off. Okay, it's Juneteenth or Emancipation Day, whatever you want to call it. And I must say, I didn't have the day off. I had to wake up early. I had to go train my clients, but I did get a nice little walk in. Okay, but go breezy. While I'm walking the reservoir here in Hollywood, I almost shit my pants. I don't know what came up.
Whoa,
I
whoa.
was about halfway through, so you can't go back. You had to keep going forward. And luckily enough, there was an outhouse, and that was the cleanest outhouse I have ever been in. I've ever
Outhouse.
been in. Or,
Wow.
porta potty, same thing.
Wow. You put your
Same
cheeks
thing.
on there? You
Oh,
put
my
your
cheeks
cheeks
were
on the
on
lid?
there. It was definitely wiped
Whoa.
down. It was definitely wiped down. What? I had I almost shit my pants, boys. You think I have time to put toilet paper down on the seat? No, no way.
Yeah,
No way.
bad spot.
So, I saw on the door that it says when it's cleaned, okay, and it goes once a week. Okay, it's at 6:19. So I might have got there just when they finished
Wow.
cleaning it. Yeah.
Wow.
So like
You
it
could
Lucked
have
out.
be.
you could have been the first guy after it was just sanitized. You lucky bitch.
It smelled good in there. It smelled good.
Well, good to hear that you didn't shit yourself today, Max. But we got Queef Wilson back on here again today, making his second appearance on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. Wilson, appreciate you coming back on. And the
Yes,
main
sir.
reason we got you on here today is it's all NBA. And never
Yeah.
did we think we'd have a whole podcast about the NBA. So our guy here, Wilson, he's in there deep with the NBA, so we had to have him come on for today. What's going on, man?
Hey, nothing much. Like you said, it's a Monday. I just got done with a walk myself. Nice Denver weather, nice sunshine, a little hot, got a little sweaty, so I had to change shirts, but
Mm.
it's been a good one. But the weekend was a little crazy, and I know Go Breezy knows what I'm talking about. He got tossed from a kayak. So we don't
Oh,
have to go into too many details, but we pretty
oh.
much got assaulted over the weekend.
Yeah, we won't get into it too deep here on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, but yeah, we were out in some kayaks, some paddle boats, and just hanging out where we live in our residential area. And some people thought that we didn't belong and that we weren't part of the neighborhood. And they came out on their boat and they made some pretty big waves. And I was tossed out of my kayak, literally tossed like a loaf of bread. And then as I'm trying to flip my kayak because it's turned over, they come around again. I get swept off my feet into the rocks. My knees bleeding, my elbows bleeding. Ridiculous. Wilson was there in the paddle boat with our guy Will. They were filling up with water. They couldn't keep the water out of the boat. It took us, I don't know, hour to get back. Solid
Yeah.
hour.
Jeez.
Everybody else had already left, so they're like, "What the hell are these guys doing? Just
Yeah.
circle jerk on the island."
Yeah.
No,
Thought
didn't
thought
even
we
get a
had too many
bees.
beesies. Thought we had
Yeah,
too many beesies, so they just left us. But no, we actually needed their help.
yeah.
Ah,
But we'll get them
jeez,
back.
boys.
We'll tag them back.
Yeah, we know where they're at. But like I said, we got a whole NBA podcast today. We got an NBA draft special. Well, the meat and potatoes of this baby this week is going to be a top 10 mock draft that you're going to have to wait around for. It's going to be at the end. And I mentioned on here before that I love the NBA draft. I love it. It's my favorite draft. All the rumors, all the speculation, the pick trading, the big time. So there's sometimes big name players that are moved on draft night. I love the chaos of the NBA draft. Max, what do you think?
NBA draft's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. The first top 5 picks are always stars for the most part. We've had some duds. We had some duds back in the day. Who's that queef? Kwame Brown.
Oh,
Oh,
Kwame.
he's gonna come after you.
I'm thinking of the worst picks in NBA
Wow.
history. Kwame Brown was probably worst pick.
Anthony Bennett, maybe he's up there.
Anthony Bennett.
Damn, that sucks. UNLV. Why would you go for someone from UNLV? They're whatever.
That was a weak draft.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, no, this is gonna be a lot of fun tonight. Thank you for everyone coming out and supporting the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And please toss out a top 10. Let's see what you got.
Yeah.
Come on. It's on Thursday.
Yeah.
You got plenty of time. Toss it in the comments. We want to see who do you think is should be number 1 through 10. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm interested myself. But we're going to start here with some breaking news. We got a blockbuster trade in the NBA with Bradley Beal, the 3-time All-Star, 30-year-old shooting guard. There's been a lot of rumors going around, a lot of speculation. He was finally moved. It was yesterday, wasn't it, Wilson?
Oh, yeah.
It was yesterday. Got the alert at my house, didn't you? But Bradley Beal is finally on the move. He's going to form a big 3 in Phoenix with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. The details of the deal here. We got Bradley Beal, Jordan Goodwin, and Isaiah Todd from the Wizards in exchange for Chris Paul, Landry Shamet, multiple second-round picks, maybe 5, and then multiple pick swaps, possibly 2. So,
good God,
my first thoughts are the Wizards got hustled in this. They're not going to use Chris Paul. They're probably going to cut him. We'll get into Chris Paul a little bit later. You're getting Landry Shamet and second-round picks for Bradley Beal. Wilson, what's your first thoughts on this trade?
If I'm a Wizards fan, I might be thanking God that this has finally happened, because the Bradley Beal, John Wall, I know that they've just been going through the ringer. It's been constant, like, are we good? Are we bad? Oh, we're always hurt. So, like, nothing ever happens. Because Bradley Beal, he's a dog. 2019, 2020, 30 points a game. That's what he was averaging. So, like, he's top-tier talent, but he's always making it seem, he's kind of like Dame Lillard. He's always saying, oh, well, I want the team to build around me. And I'm just like, but you take all the money. Like, you take a $50 million deal or however much it was. So I got it. If I was a Wizards fan, I'd kind of be relieved. Like, hey, now we can, because obviously we're not going to do anything with Chris Paul, like, and we weren't going to do anything with Bradley Beal. So maybe we can start over. And with all those picks, I mean, it might be helpful, but again, I don't trust the Wizards organization. Everything out there in DC, the Commanders, Wizards, all the politicians, you can't trust anybody. So I feel bad for those fans. They've just keep going through it. But let's not sleep on Landry Shamet. He in the playoffs, game 4, he had a 14-point fourth quarter to help him win a game against the eventual champion, the Nuggets. So, but I mean, again, he's a scrub role player. He barely got playing time. And then the guys that the Suns got, they're also a couple of bums. No offense to them if they're listening, but I've never even heard of him, so I had to look him up. Yeah, but I had to look him up. So time will tell on this one, but I think the Wizards at the end of it kind of made out the best way, just because they get a clean slate. I feel like.
I hear you with that clean slate. That's if you're training a multi-time All-Star, a franchise player, you got to get some first-round picks. You got to get some first-round picks.
No doubt. I was going to say second-round picks. Can we name multiple second-round picks that have turned out to be absolute stars in the NBA? The only one I'm thinking, too, is Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker. But
I'll point to one
anyone
guy
else?
right here. I'll point to one guy that just won a Finals MVP.
Drafted during a Taco Bell commercial.
The Joker, Nikolai Jokic. Drafted 41st.
I thought he was like second overall.
Oh, no.
41st overall, bro.
Wow.
Everybody talks about him getting drafted during a Taco Bell commercial. I think it
wasn't even live.
It was like splitting.
Wasn't even live. There's been a couple second-round picks, but definitely you don't want to stockpile second-round picks for your All-Star guard. Bradley Beal has averaged over 22 points each of the last 7 seasons. This guy can fill it up. Max, what do you think about this new big 3 in Phoenix?
Oh, man. It's pretty juicy. Can we say a big 4? What about DeAndre Ayton?
I don't know if they want him. I don't know if they want him.
Man,
I don't think he wants to be there. I think he's happy about the contract, and
I think it's a mutual.
I see. I didn't know that they were trying to part ways with him. I thought he signed a 4-year deal not too long ago.
Yeah, this past offseason, the Pacers tried to snag him, and then the Suns matched the offer. They kept him.
Right. Yeah.
And they paid for it this year because he's not what he used to be. I don't know what happened this year, but I think he's ready to get out. And I've heard, or like all the rumors and all the sources are saying like there's a lot of people calling the Suns to try to get him out of there, because that is a big contract with those. I mean, you got Durant, Booker, Beal's massive contract. Like, it makes sense for them to get rid of him.
I'm glad you bring up that.
That does make sense.
I'm glad you bring up that contract. Next year, Bradley Beal is getting paid $46.7 million. The year after, $50.2. The year after, $53.7. The year after, a player option for $57.1 million.
Wow.
That is one of the biggest contracts in the NBA. Max, we talked about Chris Paul earlier. No way is he staying in Washington. Where do you think CP3 could sit?
Oh, man. I feel bad for CP3. You got to put him on a team that's going to compete. You know, I believe in a previous episode we said, oh, why not just go to the Lakers? You know, go play with LeBron and AD and that old crew, and then they'll be hyping them up. And, oh, they got the 8th seed. Look out, you know, because perfect team. Perfect team. Why don't you just come to LA? Come back to LA, Chris Paul, because you know you love your State Farm commercials. You know you do it here. You know you do all your State Farm commercials in California. So that's where he wants to be. So I'm calling it right now, Lakers.
Wilson, give me a team for Chris Paul.
I did see Shams Charania. He said that the Dubs, the Warriors, if people don't know the Dubs nickname, but they reached out to the Suns for CP3. So that could still happen. I mean, it seems like after this past year, I mean, they signed Jordan Poole and then Draymond Green, which we'll talk about later, declining his player option. Like, there's a lot of movement over there. So people don't really know what the Dubs are doing. But I mean, that would be bunch of guards over there is what it would be. So if they continue to reach out, that'd be a contender. So it'd be nice to see. But yeah, with like you said, Chris Paul, I feel like it's for sure going to be the Lakers. Banana Boat crew, 2 of them are going to be on there. But yeah, no idea.
The old Banana Boys. I'll throw out. I'll stay right there in LA. I'll throw out a reunion with the Clippers. Go back to the Clippers, run the show there. If Kawhi and PG could ever be on the court, then could be something.
Maybe.
Moving along today on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, we got some baby mama drama in New Orleans with Zion Williamson. I didn't know if it was an M or N there for a second. Williamson. Wilson, you got to fill us in on this.
My God, that's first and foremost, my God, because it started off, I can't remember the exact date, but he posted a picture. He's got a baby mama there. They did like the gender reveal and everything. Everybody's having a good time, all smiles. He hand around under it, looks like, oh, okay, this is good for him because he needs this. He needs some structure. Get him back in the fucking court or get him on the court, but that's besides the point. But then the next day comes out and his other main piece, side piece, who knows? Her name is Mariah Mills. She's been going off. She is a porn star. I'm not watching porn every day, but I had to make sure that it was true that she's on there. No.
So you said you're not watching every day, so every other day then we should assume.
No, I'm not watching it sometimes, but not really. But I had to check to confirm, and I think her name is Akima, I think is the actual like baby mama that he posted about. I think she's on there because Mariah Mills has said like, oh, she's a D-list porn star. You should be with me. So, but this all happened. Mariah Mills sees this on Twitter and she's like, what the fuck is this? And she just goes off. I took some screen records and I'm about like on the iPhone, if you have it, screen recording. It's about 10 minutes of me just kind of scrolling, clicking into each video, each tweet. And there's a lot of crazy videos because she's airing out dirty laundry. She said, basically, I fucking hate you. I don't want you to ever speak to me. And then a day later, she's like, oh, okay, we shouldn't be messing with these lames. It should just be me and you. So then she's trying to get back with him. But then it seems like more now she's kind of getting away from him. But I feel like that's when a lot of trade rumors have started because this has been nonstop. She's posting screenshots of their text messages where she's sending thirst traps, her ass is hanging out, tits hanging out. And he's putting emojis that kind of emoji.
The squirt emoji.
Yeah, eggplant emoji. Like they really are. they got down and dirty because she constantly is calling him a sex freak. And then now she's coming after him about his playing, that she's like, oh, you need to get on the court. You haven't been on the court. You need me or something. It just keeps going and going. She has a lot of it still up. Like I scrolled back today to see, all right, when did it start? And it goes back to June 10th. So if people want to check it out, Mariah Mills on Twitter, you'll be able to find it because it's in the news every day, because each day people are like, oh, is she going to stop today? Nope. She's back with another 10 tweets about it. So little crazy. But I know there's some trade rumors. You guys, I've heard he could be going all over the place, or people want Ingram instead of him. Do you guys have anything on that?
The only rumors I heard, and they were already kind of shot down, was that he could be available for Scoot Henderson. But yeah, I heard Ingram is more valuable than Zion, as he should be.
Yeah.
But Max, none of us here have any baby mamas, so we don't have any drama. But what do you think about Zion here?
When you first brought up, the first baby mama and they got the reveal and everything, I'm just curious, how big was that baby? That might be a 12-pounder. That might be a 12, 15-pounder coming right out. Sack of ribs, man, a sack of ribs. This is just a ridiculous story. The fact that Zion is banging a bunch of porn stars. I am not surprised there's not a porn. There probably is now. Maybe Queef Wilson, you could tell us about this, considering that you're on and off with the porn. Is there an actor that plays Zion and these?
Oh, geez.
They call him Big Z.
Whoa. I'm not getting that down and dirty.
Big Z.
I just did a Google search, didn't get on any of the sites or all the sites which I know are bookmarked on your guys' phones, but I'm not on any of those sites. But I don't think there's any role playing. I think all that stuff stays in the bedroom, and she airs it out on Twitter. That's what she's been doing.
I see. Well, Zion, dude, stay away from the hookers. All right. Why don't you find yourself a nice girl and focus on basketball? All right. Stay away from those, because that's probably why he's got hip problems. That's probably why. It's not because of his extra weight. I think he's just thrusting a little too hard.
Just
take it easy. Just take it easy. And go back to the baby mama and take care of your son or daughter. Do we know son, daughter?
I don't remember that. And the last tweet of Mariah Mills today, it was one of the Snapchat emojis. I don't know what they're actually called. I'm not too hip into Snapchat, and I know you guys might not be either, but she basically posted it was a little animation of her basically seeing that she has a baby in her stomach. So that because that was, she was like, oh, you better hope you didn't get me pregnant. So now you might have two baby mamas.
Oh no.
And a whole lot of drama.
Oh,
so double trouble.
Double trouble.
I wish him the best of the luck, because him in college, what a crazy player to watch. Like the high school highlights, it was a grown man against fifth graders. It looked like he just did everything with ease, did it in college, and then he got into the NBA and he was doing stuff with ease. So to get to this point, I'm just like, oh my God, what have you done?
Looked like he was playing with a Nerf hoop in college, like one you hang on your door.
Oh yeah.
He was fun to watch in college, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
We're rooting for you, Zion, but right now it sounds like you're having more dunks off the court than on them.
Better decisions, man. You're still young. Just wipe that out of your life and start focusing on, how about some values, man? How about some values, and don't ruin your career. You're too young for that. Come on.
Moving along here today, we got more breaking news. Draymond Green of the Golden State Warriors has declined his $27.6 million player option. The 33-year-old forward has spent all 11 seasons with the Warriors. He's a four-time All-Star. Last season, he averaged 8.5 points, 7 boards, 7 assists. $27.5 million for 8.5 points. I don't know why he declined this, Max. What the hell do you think?
Okay. First thing I got to say about Draymond, this guy is a huge douchebag. This is a nomination. I thought that Draymond douchebag. Draymond has been a douchebag in this league ever since he came in to the league. He's always been a douchebag. Yeah, sure. We can have respect for shit talkers, but this guy doesn't just shit talk. Okay. He kicks people in the nuts. He goes out there and kicks people in the nuts, and he's like, what'd I do? What'd I do? Dude, you kick someone in the nuts. They're like, he's kicked someone in the nuts so much. There should be a new show starring Draymond called I Kick Your Nuts. All right, play that on MTV. Play that on MTV. Hey, I'm Draymond. I'm gonna go kick Steve Kerr in the nuts today. That's it. That's it. Everyone would watch that. Everyone would watch that. Draymond, I just gave you a good idea, dude. This guy has no leadership. He punched Jordan Poole in the locker room or something like that. This guy needs to go. Okay. And I'm just wondering who the hell wants this head case on their team. Biggest douchebag in the game. But we will make that vote. Who is the biggest douchebag in the NBA? And my pick, it might be Draymond, but we'll see. We'll see.
Nice new nomination there for Draymond Green. Wilson, what do you think about this?
I feel like he's a great player. Obviously, like the stats really don't tell because he is, I won't say a dynamic player, but he's a great part of that. He's a part of that well-oiled machine. They won 4 chips. Like he was a pivotal part of that. But yeah, I feel like he's kind of gone off to the other side. It just isn't like he's always talking about his podcast. He's always doing that after, which is successful. Like it gets a lot of people talking, but I'm just like 8 points, 27 million. Like I think he wants to get out too. Because of the Jordan Poole drama. Obviously, people probably talk a lot of shit about, oh, you're ruining the team. You're a douchebag. You're a head case. Like, get out of here. And I don't know. I mean, if I'm the Warriors, they said that they're going to continue to, or at least Rich Paul, who is agent of LeBron James, they're all buddy, so it could be a future landing option. But they're saying that they're still talking to Golden State, exploring all the options. But I'm just like, they're not giving you anything close to 27.5. So he's gone. This is the end of that little era, so maybe that's why they were trying to bring over CP3, but it's over.
We want to talk about second-round picks. Draymond Green was a second-round pick, and that attitude and that swagger and that cockiness that he has, that's definitely taken him to where, like, he wouldn't be where he is without that swagger.
Yeah.
I'll just throw out 3 teams here real quick that could be possible suitors, maybe in a sign and trade, maybe just straight up signing him. I'll throw out Dallas, Atlanta, and Sacramento.
I feel like I got to say no to Sacramento because he just stomped on Sabonis. So let's not forget about kicking people in the nuts, stomping people on the chest.
Put them together.
He had my
Two of
leg.
the toughest guys out there.
No.
Draymond ain't tough. He kicks people in the nuts. That's not a fight. That's not a fight when you kick someone in the nuts.
That's not tough.
Well,
but being 6'6" guarding centers, that's tough.
Yeah.
And he could be a good veteran leader, but then also you have somewhat of proof of that. But I'm just like, he just punched Jordan Poole in the face they were talking shit to each other at the practice court. Like, you're gonna go up to him, pin him against the wall, and then just rock him. Like, I don't know.
If you guys saw that video, that was a punch.
He fell. Like, Poole, I think, got a little woozy, maybe got knocked out because he dropped.
That was a punch and a half right there.
Yeah.
Max, can you give me a team that Draymond could be a suitor for?
Man, I don't want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say this guy is a big douchebag that sits in free agency because nobody wants a big douchebag on their team.
So he just sits out next season?
Just sits out.
Does his podcast.
Yeah.
Wilson,
He's got a new show coming out. I Kick Your Nuts.
Yeah, he's been on TNT before
busy
too.
With that.
He seems like he could be an analyst at the end, so maybe he just takes that year off, gets rest, maybe gets his jump shot back because he can't shoot. He really can't. Seems like he can't do anything but kind of facilitate and play D. But to your question, Cobrizi, any teams that I've heard, the little bit of the Dubs, I feel like Lakers, and I would think people have tossed out the Suns. He's not going to be with KD. That was another person he butt heads with. And I think Shams Charania might have strike down the Grizzlies, but since they're getting rid of Dillon Brooks, bring in Draymond Green, the real one that you want, instead of Dillon Brooks, the wannabe. But again, they need, yeah. I got nothing. I think the Lakers will probably be a spot just because he loves King James. He refers to him as, hey, this is my king. Thank you so much for coming to my wedding whenever that happened a year or two ago. So he's fondling King James. So I think that's where he'll end up.
Definitely a lot of butthole licking. Draymond, that's where you got to go. Okay. You like bowing down? You like going down on your knees to lick LeBron's butthole? Well, it's probably sweaty and salty. So enjoy.
Oh my.
We'll leave that one there.
Douchebag.
Yeah. Moving along here to our last topic before our juicy top 10 mock NBA draft. We got breaking news out of Morgantown, West Virginia. Hall of Fame head coach Bob Huggins.
Huggy Bear?
Huggy Bear has just stepped down from his post. The 69-year-old head coach spent 17 seasons as an assistant and head coach at West Virginia. He's from Morgantown, went to West Virginia. And fellas, he is 4th all time in Division I head coaching wins. Real quick, can you guys give me the 3 head coaches in front of him? Real quick. 2 of them just retired recently.
That douchebag Mike K.
Number 1.
Roy Williams. I'm guessing he's up there.
Oh,
no,
not top 4.
Boeheim
number 2.
Bill Self.
Nope.
Shoot.
Is it the guy from Villanova?
Nope.
Nah, it's not Jay Wright. It's not Jay Wright.
He retired roughly 10 to 15 years ago. 2 championships, I believe.
Shoot. What team?
He was in the Big East.
Damn it! I got nothing. Oh, Jim Calhoun, got it.
Jim Calhoun, number 3. That's your top 4 right there. Coach K, Jimmy Nose Picking Boeheim, Jim Calhoun, and Bob Huggins is your top 4 Division I wins amongst head coaches. But there was an incident in Pittsburgh on Friday night, roughly about 8:30. Police found Bob Huggins on a side road outside of his vehicle. The vehicle is in the middle of the road. He is standing outside the vehicle. Driver's door is open. This is how police found him. He is blocking the road. People cannot come through. Police come up. Bob Huggins decides to pull over to the road and lets traffic proceed. At this point, he decides to do a 3-point turnaround to go the other way. Police turn on their flashes, go up to the vehicle, get identification, find out it's Bob Huggins. They smell alcohol on his breath, and they find that he's got a flat tire, and 3/4 of the tire is shredded. This tire is shredded to the rim. Okay. Police start questioning Bob, old Huggy Bear. Huggy Bear didn't know how he got a flat tire, first off. He didn't know how he got to Pittsburgh. He didn't even know he was in Pittsburgh. Police say they asked him approximately 10 times, "Where are you?" And not once did he answer with Pittsburgh. The only clear answer they got from him was Columbus, Ohio, which is not only 3 hours west, but is in a whole different state.
Good God.
At this point, the police asked Bob to get out of his vehicle, get the hell out from behind the wheel.
Yeah.
So he exits the vehicle and falls back into the seat, falls back into the vehicle. Okay. He obviously fails multiple sobriety tests where he needs the rules repeated to him over and over. He needs the rules to be repeated to him over and over. We're going to see a dash cam of this here probably in a week or two, and it's going to be pretty funny. But what's not funny is a trash bag full of beer cans was found in the passenger side floor. Trash bag full of beer cans was found in the trunk. A cooler was found behind the middle console. So obviously, Bob Huggins is no longer employed at West Virginia University. This incident is coming about a month or two after he made anti-Catholicism remarks and homophobic remarks, and he was docked some pay and suspended some games for that. We talked about this earlier. He had a DUI when he was the head coach at Cincinnati back in 2004. He later, 9 months later, resigned from that position. And I failed to mention that the police had him blow, and he blew a .21, which is almost 3 times the legal limit. A 0.21, almost 3 times the legal limit. Max, I'm going to throw this one at you first. Huggy Bear lost a lot of people's respect here.
But gained one person's respect. 0.21 behind the wheel, drives all the way to Pittsburgh. What the? How in the world did he get there? How the hell did he get there?
He could not explain the hours, like 8 hours of his day. He did not know how he got to Pittsburgh. He didn't even know he was in Pittsburgh.
Just kidding about the one person respect, because obviously sarcasm. Man, it's a bummer to hear, because I really enjoyed Bob Huggins. Yeah, he did. He has done this before, and he said some bad things that I don't necessarily agree with as well. But it's a bummer to hear. But you know what, man? Like, you got to be smarter than that. Obviously, he must have some form of depression or alcoholism, because I mean, that's just wrong in many ways, man. So I feel bad for Bob Huggins, but man, you got to look. Come on. You're teaching kids. You're teaching kids out there on the court. It's going to be hard to see whether or not he's even comes back to college basketball.
Wilson, we're just lucky that he didn't crash and kill somebody else, injure somebody else, injure himself. We're lucky here. Wilson, give me your thoughts on this situation.
Well, seriously, like that, him being that trashed is insane, and that it happened years ago. I think the Cincinnati one was back in 2004. So, like, how many times has he done it in between? Did he do it before 2004?
Exactly.
How many more times is he going to continue? Because, I mean, you talked about his pay getting docked for the anti-gay slur, which he was using maggots, but the other term, as you can kind of fill in the lines. But he took $1 million pay cut from 4.2 mil to 3.2 mil. And so I mean, he's got enough money, he'll be set. But this guy, I mean, he is a true scumbag, because he is lucky. Because it said, I think a little bit more in this story, he might have gone to the Taylor Swift concert, because he got pulled over half a mile from Pittsburgh, which was Heinz Stadium, and I don't know the correct way, Acrisure Stadium, but yeah, that's where he was driving around. So he really could have, like, just been driving, and then all the kids come out, and he could have just mowed them all down. So, like, there's always situations where, like, what could have happened, you drunk driving. So thank God he was outside doing whatever the hell he was doing. But to have trash bags and on 2 different spots, a cooler, insane.
It's definitely a problem. Definitely lucky that everybody's safe. Max finishes up here with the fact that he was in Pittsburgh, but thought he was in Columbus, Ohio.
I mean, was he joking with them? Maybe he was just joking around. He was, I'm just coming back from the game. You know, I'm coming back from West Virginia versus Ohio State. You know?
They said, Bob, it's June.
June? I just met her last week. Oh man, it's hilarious, but obviously at the same time, this is very serious. And whatever happens, you know, you gotta own up to it, Bob Huggins, which he did. He stepped down. He stepped down in West Virginia. He's owning up to it. So that's the good news. But whatever next happens, I hope you just learn from the situation. That's all I got for you, Bob Huggins. You're gonna be missed. You were fun to watch on the court. You were a good coach, but bad decisions off the court.
Bob Huggins, the 4th winningest coach in Division I basketball history. All right, Max, now we're into the second half of the podcast. And like we said, this is the NBA draft special podcast. And with that, we got a top 10 mock. Boy, do I love mocking. I love mocking. Not only mocking in May, but mocking in June. And at the top of this draft, San Antonio Spurs, they got the lottery balls to bounce their way. There's no debate at the top. I don't even want to spend more than 10 seconds talking about this. It's going to be Victor Wembanyama from France, the 19-year-old stud, 7'5", 220, or is it size 21 shoe. He led the French league in points, rebounds, and blocks last year. He's been a pro since age 15. This guy is a franchise changer. Going to be a hell of a player for years to come in San Antonio.
Hey, I have him as the #1 overall pick as well. We already talked about this guy. We already got very detailed on him, so we don't have to talk more about it. If anybody else has a #1 overall pick in that spot, you are probably just being biased towards your favorite college team. Just step away from your favorite college team. Hey, I love Purdue. But I would put Zach Edey there. But once again, Zach Edey's coming back. All right, I would put, but regardless, I wouldn't put Zach Edey as #1 pick. You know what I mean? So Victor Wembanyama, 7'5", stretch. This guy's got a rare talent.
Can't wait to see him play. At number 2, we got the Charlotte Hornets sitting there with LaMelo Ball coming off all his ankle injuries last year. They're looking for a running mate to pair with him. And right now, I'm staying steady with Brandon Miller, 6'8", 200 pounds, 20-year-old from Alabama, SEC Player of the Year. He averaged 19 points, 8 boards, and 2 assists last year, shooting 43% from the floor, 38% from deep, and 86% from the line. This guy is pretty close to Kevin Durant, pretty similar body type. I think he would be great alongside LaMelo Ball.
I like that. I like that combo. Terry Rozier's still there as well, if I'm not mistaken. You know, Michael Jordan sold the team. They're going to give it to somebody that actually gives a shit about the team. We talked about this last week on the podcast. We also talked about Brandon Miller last week, so we'll make this one brief. But Brandon Miller, once again, he struggled in the tourney. He focused on his jump shot way too much. San Diego State, they were just locking him down, forcing him to shoot it. That's defense, by the way. If you're forcing the best player to just take jump shots rather than take it to the rim. So yeah, he definitely has some work to do, but he's got the length. He has the shot. Just put a little bit of muscle on. The NBA is going to, especially in the NBA, because they don't play defense, he's going to be all right. Hornets are looking good going forward, too, if they pick up this guy.
Moving along to number 3, the Portland Trailblazers are sitting there with Damian Lillard as their star. Don't know how much longer Dame Dollar is going to be in Portland. Not sure.
Man.
A possible replacement for him could be sitting there at number 3. Where I got the G League Ignite guard, Scoot Henderson. 6'2", 195. He's 19 years old. He's played 2 years for the G League Ignite. He finished high school a year and a half early to do this. In the G League, he averaged 16.5 points, 5.5 boards, and almost 7 assists. He's got to improve his jumper. But boy, he's got some star potential here, Max.
Yeah, sure. There's no doubt about that. Regardless if Damian Lillard gets traded or dropped or whatever the scenario ends up being, I still think they're going to draft Scoot Henderson as well at number 3, because think about it, back when it was CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard, they were just scoring 50 points together. So I think that maybe Scoot Henderson and him together can end up doing something like that. So why not have that guard combo again? I think it makes it fun. But yeah, we'll see about Damian Lillard. That's interesting. But Scoot Henderson is an interesting player. Speaking of the G League, Cole Breezy, can you give us a little background on what this is? Maybe some of our viewers like me, I'm also fairly new to this G League situation. It hasn't been around that long.
Yeah, so it used to be the D League, the developmental league, and it turned into the G League for Gatorade. And now they started a league for guys coming out of high school or guys in high school that don't want to go to college. They don't want to go to overseas. They want to stay in America and make money playing ball. This is their 3rd year doing it. We saw guys like Jalen Green for the Rockets and Jaden Hardy for the Mavericks get drafted over these last couple of years. But they play. Each NBA team has a G League team. It's like baseball, minor league team, and so this G League Ignite team is playing against pros. They're playing against grown men. So it's a great competition for Scoot Henderson. I'm excited to see what he could do in Charlotte or Portland, but no way in hell is he dropping lower than 3.
I agree.
Going to pick number 4, this is where a lot of people say that the draft is going to start. The Houston Rockets are picking here. It seems like they've been in the top 4 for a few years in a row. But I've got him taking Amen Thompson out of Overtime Elite. He's 6'7", 200 pounds, 20 years old. He's projects as a point guard. He's got great vision, good playmaker, super athletic. He's a ready defender right now. He needs to improve his jumper, just like a lot of these guys. But pairing him with Jalen Green, that could be one of the most athletic backcourts in the NBA. Max, who do you have? Where do you have Amen Thompson?
I also have Amen Thompson at number 4.
Wow.
And then isn't Kevin Porter Jr. on that team as well as the small forward? Is he still on that team? So, I mean, they got some young guys, and they got some guys that can really score. Kevin Porter Jr. can score. So you
Jabari
got 3.
Smith.
Oh, Jabari Smith. Yeah, that's the power forward. They got a nice young team. They just need some time to work together. Hopefully they can stay together, and develop some chemistry, get a big time center. Who's their center right now? What's it?
Alperen Şengün, my guy.
Yeah, Şengün. Yes, it's
Şengün.
Şengün. Yeah, your guy. Looking like a solid top 5. You just, once again, let's see if they can build some chemistry, get the right coach in there. But yeah, I also do have Amen Thompson. It should be interesting.
7-foot wingspan at the point guard position. He's got possibly the ability to lock that position down.
Yeah.
Moving on to number 5, we got the Detroit Pistons, and just like Houston, they've been picking in the top 5 for multiple years here. Time to win some games, Detroit. Time to win some damn games, please.
Detroit sucks. That whole city sucks. It is.
Motown.
We always talk like San Francisco's a shithole. Detroit is a shithole. Drive through it. It looks like, like one of those like the boarded up houses, and like, are people living there? Is there people there? I don't know how they have a team anymore.
I drove through last year for the first time, actually, but
yeah, lock your doors.
Didn't stay. I don't know.
Roll the windows up.
They were probably up, but there's Pistons are sitting at number 5, and I got them taking Cam Whitmore. We talked about Cam last week. He's 6'7", 230, still only 18 years old. He played at Villanova. These people don't know about Cam because Villanova sucked. They didn't make March Madness. They didn't make the tournament. But he averaged 12.5 points, 5 boards, 1.4 steals. He's going to be a nice athletic body, a slasher. I think he fits right in with the Pistons at the 3 spot. You got Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, and now possibly Cam Whitmore. That's a nice 3 right there.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're not going too far apart from each other, Cobreezy, because I do also have Cam Whitmore at number 5. How about that?
Same top 5.
Perfect spot for him to be at the small forward. You got Jaden Ivey playing shooting guard. You got Cade Cunningham playing more than likely point guard. That could be switched, obviously, with Jaden Ivey and whatnot. Actually, all 3 of them could probably switch around. You're looking at a 3 guard combo with obviously Cam Whitmore being the rebounder of the crew. They just need a guy down low that can get them 12, 15 boards a game, like the Andre Drummond days. Get that guy, get a guy that can just grab it, go, have these guys run because they're quick, and then let's just score, but these guys, Detroit has a lot of work to do. They have it. They have the potential, but are they too young? And is there any chemistry there, or is everyone just trying to get their own?
I think that they might have found their guy that could get him 12 to 15 boards a game, Jalen Duren out of Memphis last year, first rounder. I think he's gonna have a big season this year.
Good.
Moving along to number 6, we got the Orlando Magic, who I've said this 3 teams in a row. They're always picking in the top of the lottery here. But I've got him taking Amen Thompson's twin brother, Usar Thompson, also from the Overtime Elite. 6'7", 205, 5 pounds heavier than his brother. He projects as a wing because playing with his brother was the point guard. So he projects as a wing, 6'7". Obviously has the 7-foot wingspan just like his brother. His jumper is a concern. He's a ready defender, big-time athlete. Possibly could even play point guard. He averaged 16 points, 7.5 boards, and 2.5 assists for Overtime Elite last year. If we don't know what Overtime Elite is, it's their second season. They're based in Atlanta, Georgia. It's a development league, just like the G League Ignite is. But the difference is the overtime elite, the players are age 16 to 20. So these guys were the oldest guys in the league. So they should be dominating. They should be looking like good prospects. It remains to be seen about these guys. These guys are big time question marks. I got Amen 4th, Usar 6th. I think he could fit in right there at the 2 for Orlando, with Franz Wagner at the 3 and Paulo Banchero at the 4.
Suggs at the 1.
Suggs at the 1.
Or Fultz. What about Fultz?
Yeah, maybe. There's a lot of guys in Orlando, and Usar Thompson's going to be one of them.
Not going too far again. I also have Usar Thompson. We promise everybody we did not do this together.
This is the first we've heard of this.
I'm interested in what you got, man. Yeah, me too. You're gonna be surprised. You're gonna be really surprised.
That's what we said. Yeah, that's what we said. Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So great minds think alike. How about that? Great minds think alike. Yeah, Usar Thompson. Like it's so funny because all these teams that we're naming right here, it's basically all the same situation. They're all very young. They need to build chemistry within each other. Some of these teams have already an outstanding coach. I'm only looking at, never mind the Spurs and Greg Popovich because he's a 5-time champion. But other than that, I'm not too familiar with the other coaches. So I don't know. I don't know about the Magic. I don't know about Detroit. Houston, ever since James Harden left because he was bitching and moaning about his $30 million a year contract. We'll see if these guys can develop, but hey, good for the players being drafted. It's a big accomplishment.
Yeah, it's a big accomplishment for Overtime Elite to say that they're going to have possibly 2 top 6 picks. That's good for their program.
Yeah.
Moving along to number 7 in this year's NBA drafts. Buzz. We got the Indiana Pacers sitting there waiting to select somebody, and I think our Pacers are going to have good options. I got them taking the 6'8", 240-pound, 19-year-old out of Houston, Jarris Walker. 7'3" wingspan. He's NBA ready on the defensive end right now. He might be the best defender in the draft. His stats last year, his freshman season at Houston, aren't going to jump off the page. We know how Kelvin Sampson plays. Houston plays in the 50s, the 60s. Jarris Walker last year averaged 11.7 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 1.3 blocks. I would love to see him on the Pacers, starting at the 4. Miles Turner comes out. He can go play the 5 against the backup bigs. This guy could be a building block along with Tyrese Halliburton and Ben Mathurin moving forward. I would love to get Jarris Walker.
I also have Jarris Walker at number 7 for Houston. I love that you brought up that he might be the best defender in the draft, but the problem is that since the NBA, especially during the regular season, they do not play defense. He's going to have to work on his scoring ability. Okay. If you want to talk about, because technically this is considered part of defense, work on your rebounding skills. Go get the boards, man. You want to show some hustle? Go be like freaking Dennis Rodman and go get every single board. Nobody boxes out. Use your athleticism. Go get the boards. Get your put back points, and dish it back out to the big dogs in Ben Mathurin and the point guard Halliburton. And they can have a really good team. They're going to rule the boards. If Turner can get over 10 rebounds, what's he been averaging? 7, 8 rebounds a game?
6 to 7.5. Yeah, he's not a rebounder.
He's a big guy. These guys are both big. Go use your ass. Get those little guards out of there and go get the damn rebounds. Use your ass.
Jarris Walker, 6'8", 240, 19 years old, has me drooling. I want him.
Exciting player. I loved him at Houston.
Moving along to number 8. I think we could have finally some difference here. Jeez Louise, I can't believe we got the same top 7. That's crazy.
Yeah.
We got the Washington Wizards sitting here. Like we just talked about, they traded franchise player Bradley Beal. So they're on a full-on rebuild. And to start that rebuild, I got him taking Anthony Black out of Arkansas. 6'7", 185. He's 19 years old. Averaged 13 points, 5 boards, 4 assists, 2.1 steals last year. I first saw him in the Maui tournament, and that's my favorite in-season tournament is the Maui.
So fun. So fun.
He went off 2 games in a row for 26 points and 6 assists each. And that's when I first saw him. The big old hair, 6'7".
Yeah.
I think he could be the start of a building block for Washington. Anthony Black, number 8.
We finally have a difference. All right.
Yes.
I have Anthony Black at number 9 going to the Jazz. I like Anthony Black. Problem is his shooting percentage, or I'm sorry, his 3-point percentage wasn't that great. Okay. I believe it was 30% last year. He's got
30.
a little bit of work to do. Little bit of work to do if you want to be a shooting guard in the NBA, which literally that's all you do is shoot 3-pointers. That's about all you do. But
Played point at Arkansas.
Nice. 6 foot, 6'7", but do a point guard shooting guard combo. So he obviously showed in college that he can score the ball. So keep using that athleticism, create defense or create offense from your defense, because his defense at Arkansas was outstanding. It was
2.1 steals a game.
The
Solid.
pressure that he put against Kansas in that tournament. Woo-wee, that was a fun game. Anthony Black going at number 9 for me. He's a great pick. Great pick.
Yeah, I was definitely going to bring that up. Anthony Black and the Arkansas Razorbacks, led by the shirtless Eric Musselman, took down my Kansas Jayhawks in the second round, the 1 seed. I won't forget that. Good Arkansas had NBA players last year: Nick Smith, Trayvon Brazile, Jared Walsh. They had a great team.
Great team.
Who is your number 8 pick to the Wizards, Max?
I might surprise you, because based on what I was looking at from what is left, I think this guy might be the best scorer out there. I think this. I know what you're thinking. Nah, calm down, Breezy. Calm down. I think this guy might be the best scorer out there, the most and like athletically gifted scorer. And
Ooh, I think I know what you mean.
That is Jalen Hood Schifino.
Ooh.
From IU. Okay. Might be too young. He might have left too early. I do think he left too early, but I do think that he has the potential to be something big. And the Wizards just gave up Bradley Beal. They're not going to keep Chris Paul. We already talked about that. This guy might have the keys to the car. Like let's why don't you just go shoot 20-30 shots a game? Let's go have some fun.
Yeah, he was a fun player to watch at IU, teaming up with Trace Jackson Davis.
Yeah,
really came into his own later in that Big Ten season. Was handling the ball more, playing a little more point guard. I do not have him in my top 10, but I do like Jalen Hood Schifino out of IU. I do like him. My number 9 pick to the Utah Jazz. You already said you got Anthony Black there at number 9, but I got Grady Dick, the best shooter in the draft.
Yes,
the best shooter in the draft. He's 6'7", 200 pounds, 19 years old, out of Kansas. Last year, he averaged 14 points, 5 boards, 1.7 assists, 1.4 steals. Shot 44% from the floor, 40% from deep, and 85% from the line. Like I said, he's the best shooter in the draft. He fills a need for any team, and any team can use shooting. So he goes to Utah. He can play with Udoka Azubuike and Ochai Agbaji. It could be a little Kansas reunion there.
Little reunion, yeah. I like it. I like that pick. I actually don't have Grady Dick in my top 10. How about that? Because I switched them basically with Schifino. But I do agree with you. I do believe he is the best shooter in the draft. That guy can stroke it. That guy can stroke it. I know that he's a top 10, but I'm really surprised that he left. Why? I figured maybe he'd stay. He was a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you stay and develop with Bill Self? Become the best shooter potentially in Kansas history or something. Like this guy, it can stroke it. Just keep working on your mechanics. But that's his choice. So
good season, averaging 14 points and 5 boards.
Yeah,
but I never thought I was watching a top 10 pick.
No,
I didn't think that.
Definitely not.
But I got him at number 9, going to the Utah Jazz. Max finishes up here with his NBA mock draft at number 10 with the Dallas Mavericks.
All right, so I had to think about this one long and hard. Okay, don't get aroused by what I just said. The Mavericks, you know what they need? They need some damn rebounding. They need a guy that can not only rebound the damn ball, but that can shoot it. Okay, I'm talking about Taylor Hendricks from UCF. Okay, I know you're like, what? University of Central Florida?
Right.
They obviously didn't prove anything. They didn't get to the dance. I understand that, but this guy is 6'9", rebounds the ball, and this guy shot 42% from three-pointer. Are you kid? Luka Doncic is going to be quite happy to see a guy that goes after the boards, gets him the ball back, and then he can dish it back out to that guy, and he drains a three-pointer. This I think this is what they're going with. Dallas needs some rebounders. Okay, they need to help Luka out. Luka can't do it all. Okay, so go get some rebounds, take some pressure off of his knees, would you?
I'm actually right there with you, Max. We've had so much commonality on this mock. I can't believe it. But I got Taylor Hendricks going to the Mavs too. That fills a great need at the 4 spot there.
Yeah.
6'9", 210, 19 years old, averaged 15.7 boards, 1.7 blocks, and almost a steal a game.
Nice.
You know, I'll sit here right now and I'll tell you, I have not seen Taylor Hendricks play a game. I did not watch UCF in the American Conference or whatever.
No.
But if this was a year later, we would all know Taylor Hendricks because UCF will be in the Big 12 next year, along with BYU, Cincinnati, and Houston.
The BYU slipped in the Big 12. Nice.
BYU will be
nice.
In a couple weeks here, July 1st officially.
Wow.
So if this was a year later, we would have seen Taylor Hendricks in the Big 12. Now that shouldn't make him drop lower on draft boards, as we both have him at number 10.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of question marks about this guy.
Sure. I think he has the right pieces around him. When you have a star top, I don't know, could we agree maybe top 3, top 5 player in Luka Doncic? When you have a player like that on your team, he can make you look so much better than even if, you know, what you are. He can make you look way better than you are. And you're going to be able to develop a little bit better because you play with better players. So it's got to be exciting if he gets drafted to the Mavericks.
Max, run us through your top 10 real quick.
So top 10 real quick. We have the Spurs taking Victor Wembanyama at number 1. The Hornets taking Brandon Miller at number 2. The Blazers taking Scoot Henderson at number 3. Houston taking Amin Thompson at number 4. Pistons taking Cam Whitmore at number 5. Magic taking, am I saying this right? Usar?
I think it's Usar, but we're probably going to find out here soon enough.
Sorry about that. Usar Thompson at number 6. Pacers are taking Jarris Walker at number 7. Wizards are taking Jalen Hood-Schifino at number 8. Jazz are taking Anthony Black at number 9. And the Mavs are taking Taylor Hendricks at number 10.
For me, we had the same exact top 7, so I'm not going to repeat that. But at number 8, I had Anthony Black. 9, Grady Dick, the best shooter in the draft out of Kansas. Taylor Hendricks, I agreed with you at number 10. And I always do a top 14 because of the lottery. So I'll give you 4 more names here. Number 11, the Magic. So the Magic have 6 and 11. That 11th pick is from the Bulls in the Vucevic trade.
Nice.
I got him taking Jordan Hawkins, getting some shooting there from UConn, national champion.
Yeah.
Number 12, the Thunder are sitting there. I got him taking a prospect in Kobe Buffkin from Michigan, averaged 14 a game last year in the Big Ten. And 13, the Raptors. I got him taking the freshman point guard out of Kentucky, Cason Wallace.
Okay.
And then 14, the Pelicans get Zion a little help if he plays up front. The big man from Duke, 7'2", Derek Lively.
I like it.
So, NBA draft's on Thursday. Can't wait to watch it. Going to be a great one. Special draft every year. And with that, this concludes this week's podcast, Max. A lot of basketball, a lot of NBA today. For you baseball fans out there wondering where's our baseball topics, wait for next week. We'll get back to baseball. It's a long season.
We have a big just wait. We'll have a big juicy day next week for baseball, but this week is dedicated to the NBA draft. I think we can all agree because the NBA is going to be done after this. We're not going to be talking about it anymore. Maybe some surprise stories from Zion and extra hookers and strippers or porn stars, whatever he ends up, hooking up with. But other than that, this is the last week we're talking about it. So we wanted to dedicate it to the NBA draft. So thank you everybody for coming out here at the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast on a Monday. Coming home from work, or if you had a day off, I hope that this helped you to relax, enjoy, maybe laugh a little bit. And, the NBA draft's on Thursday. So please let us know how you feel about our top 10 or write your own top 10. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, please let us know your top 10. We want to know the similarities, the differences, but appreciate any time anybody spent watching this, listening to this today. Really appreciate that. Get us some likes, some views, some comments. But remember, don't tell your mama, because one guy came on here saying how he doesn't watch porn every day, but I guess we assume every other day.
And every other day thing, that's like one of the top morals that your mom teaches you. Brush your teeth, make your bed, don't look at porn. Those are like the top 3 that your mama teaches you, and yet we tend to not do any of those. Breezy, you tend to get a lot of double doubles when you don't brush your teeth or take a shower. That quick over here he's quite sloppy.
5 to 10 years ago, you could have caught me. Yeah. But
oh yeah, when you go camping, you're not brushing your teeth. You're barely wiping your ass.
No, we're brushing our teeth. We're brushing our teeth. We have a sink. We can brush our teeth.
Your mama know about this? She don't know about you not brushing your teeth and wiping your ass with leaves.
My mama went camping with us up in Michigan, and she had to wipe her ass with a leaf.
Her back was hurting. I hope that wasn't a poison ivy leaf. I hope that was not a poison ivy leaf.
You should have seen her squatting on that toilet.
Oh yeah, you were watching, holding her up.
Had to help her get down to it. It was
okay,
it was a low rider.
Now push.